Hey, I'm Thomas.
I'm Marcus, and we are anamē.
Episode 2.
Yeah. Woo.
First one went pretty well, surprisingly.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I guess so. I felt very good about it.
Yeah, me too.
There we go then. So, they wrote us a list of things we should talk about, which is very smart, or else this would be sort of rambling on for hours. This is, and funny, it's one of the things we're going to touch today is the importance of team, and I think this is a really good thing to mention that without the team, this podcast might be a little bit crazy, but I think let's talk about record label.
Yeah.
I want to talk about, or them, also me, but I want to talk about how to get signed to a record label. I want to talk about the album that's coming, how we signed the album to the record label. And I want to talk about industry, like history, stuff like that. So let's start with how to get signed to a record label today. If you were a young 17-year-old, like let's say you would talk to yourself when you were 16, and you know, what advice would you give yourself to sort of get signed to a record label like Anjuna Beats?
Give up.
Stop. It's not worth it.
Don't do this to yourself. No. I think the first thing starts with a unique sound.
Sure.
And it's not always the labels recognize the value of this at an early point.
No.
Because you're probably too far ahead. And they probably can't place you yet. Which means that the first 2-3 years will be about convincing people that this is the future. I think what's also important is that you come with a complete, I'll say, I hate this word, but it's called product.
Yeah.
And the product is, a combo of your brand and your plans and your sound.
Sure.
And it's also important to understand that the album doesn't have to be finished yet.
Yeah.
It's just like a showcase.
Yeah.
Kinda. And it's also important to find the right people to work with.
Yeah.
Right people who gives you constructive feedback.
Yeah.
And think one of the other factors is that you have patience and a ton of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I want to add to that list is kind of like remove your ego a little bit from the product.
Oh, yeah,
it is a song, and it's very hard, I think, for every artist.
Of course.
It's like it's something you create, and you're very passionate about it. It's very that. But at the end of the day, it is just a song in many ways, or it's just a product that you produce. So then it's kind of like a point of, what's the value in this song compared to a record? Like for the label, what's the sort of value for them?
Yeah.
Because you got to understand that even a record label, they just like, even if they love music, most people who work in the record industry love it. They're passionate about it. But all of them got to eat at one point, right? So it's about like proving the value of it, creatively, the product value, marketing, like ideas, brands, all of it. You have to have an idea about what this is, and you have to be able to prove it somehow and showcase that. So I think that is, and like you said, for me, it's also like being able to take feedback. That doesn't mean, like we maybe talked about in the last episode, where it was like, oh, can you just make it sound more like that?
Yeah.
That's not what that means.
No.
It's me being open to, is this the best product or best song it could potentially be? Or is there more? Because remember, Anjuna has been doing this for years.
20 years.
Yeah, they know a few things that you, as a young producer, might not know yet, right?
Yeah.
And there's certain things like timing.
And some of the things these labels will tell you might not make sense in the start.
No, this is very true.
Then once you experience the whole scene and so forth, you start to understand that these decisions, his choices are based on protecting you and your brand, and you as an artist.
Yeah.
I don't think Juna Beats is the label I will ever tell you, hey, sound like this.
No.
You know, there is gigantic creative freedom, and I also think that's why, so many artists stick around.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think so too.
That's actually quite a healthy barometer for label.
Yeah.
How many of the first artists is still around?
Yeah, that's very true. It's very true. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. So what like for me, like on Juna Beats, we're obviously there now. We're gonna be there for a while. We stuck around.
Hopefully for 20 years.
If they want to keep us, yeah.
Sorry, Gareth.
But what drew me to on Juna Beats, I think we touched base on this a couple of times already. I guess at least in the first episode, but. It is the community part. I love that. I love the fact that they really care about you. They want, as you said, like feedback on records could come from sort of a place of protecting you because they think you can make this thing better.
Yeah.
It's not there yet, or you could do this and try that, but it always comes from a good place, and not necessarily just like finish this so we can make some money and kick you out the door, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, they want to create you, and they think about like how does this translate to your tour? Could you play it there? There's multiple levels where, it's like the family thing. It's kind of like that.
And and I also think if you look at it from a future perspective.
Yeah.
Some the labels last 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
And Juna Beats has now been around for 20 years. And I think the reason why is because they're willing to take risks in small, unproven acts.
Yeah.
I mean, who was like Andrew Bayer or Genix or whatever 12, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
It was just starting out.
Yeah.
And they, took a chance on them, and I feel artists feel that, and they pay back by going home in the studio.
Yeah.
And really feeling inspired because there's finally this trust.
Yeah, and I think the trust is also like there's a true honesty there. Mm-hmm. They don't sign you for any other reason than they believe in you and the product over time. Yeah. It's not, there's this one song that's a hit, like a TikTok hit, so I'm going to sign you for that and then I'm going to get rid of you. They would only do it if they believe the product could be big over time and on multiple levels. And that trust and honesty gives you also opportunity to pay back because they have the platform and they'll shine some light on you. And even their sort of the above and beyond guys, they will shine their light on you with no ego and no like sort of suspicious thinking, or there's no behind it. It's just pure, this is great. My fans, my dear fans, I think you guys will love this new act because we really like them. Yeah. That's the only intention they have.
Yeah, but I think that is what is so special about the Juna Beats.
Yes.
The core is a label. It started out as a label. Yeah. But now it's more of a social community party thing. Yeah. And I think it's almost like when you throw something into a Juna Beats sphere. Yeah. It brings out the best out of people.
I think so.
No one is interested interested in foul play and all this.
No, it's also like a little bit of that sort of. When I got into dance music in the first place, it was very like that community-driven kind of like you could be whatever
forums,
you are.
The old forums.
Yeah, forums.
Yeah, like that.
I believe like you could be whoever you are and just be that, and people will like support you for that. And I think it's the same now, because even like the artists like Gen X Demo, Elon, all these guys. There's this healthy competition in many ways, but we will always shine light on each other.
Yeah.
Amy Wild, like Happy Day, Nas, like all of these amazing talent.
Great people.
Great people. They're just great people, and we will like shine light on everyone, and they will shine light on us when that's necessary. So there's this community part of it, and that's something that really drew me to it.
It's kind of important for people to know as well that all of the Beats artists talk together daily, and you hang out when we're in London or whatever. And we like actually hang out. It's not just like hi, cool, see you, ciao, bye. It's like, and you become friends on the way, and you have an understanding of each path of each artist. Because every path is also different. Someone might be really hot right now, and then in 3 years' time, it's someone else. And I think that there is an important part of artists that and friends as well, just in general. But you will see people's true colors when the times is worst. And I mean, so far I've seen nothing but just kind souls.
I agree. I think that was, I think that sums up perfectly like why Anjunabeats felt like the sort of normal. It's the only reality. It was the only choice. It wasn't alternatives. There wasn't really any, because they were the only one who were, checked all the lists. So let's talk about album coming. We're making an album.
We are.
Something we always wanted to do, isn't it? Together, properly. We obviously you made an album, I made an album. We worked on each other's records. But truly making an album together. How do you feel about that?
It is, I feel excited again. Yes. It is the first time where we get to finally do whatever we are supposed to do. And I don't think we're compromising. I think when you start the album, you always have some picture how it will sound like, and then it kind of unfolds by itself, and we let that happen without having a really strict plan.
I agree. I think for me it was just getting back into the studio, because remember, like, I literally stopped making music like overnight. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And it
yes, you are.
3-4 years of like nothing
come
doing
back,
it.
Thomas, come back.
No, so it's like I feel like there's a bottle up all these ideas over a year, and it's just like Anjunabeats come, Gareth, like all of them come. Here's like a platform, and it was just like almost like a volcano-ish. It was just like pure creative energy unleashed. And that's kind of how it felt, like getting down into this process that we're in now. We just write so much music. And there's like no ideas that dumb. There's like, we don't know. There is no judgment before it's actually there. So it's kind of like, it's just like an incredible time.
How was the feeling to like finishing the first song and be like, this is actually a thing? But
it's like a little bit of a weird process, really, because we just been making so much music. We never really said like, oh, it's gonna be an album yet. Like we never really because we were just playing, getting some of this gratitude, and we always had that in our minds that we're gonna do an album for sure.
One day
we'll do an album. For now, just do music, and then we just looked at it. It's like, we should make an album.
Yeah.
And that was like the most natural thing to do. And then it was like the first one we said like, this is an album record, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's an album record. Well, I guess we're doing an album. Let's call Gareth. Like, I was kind of like, yeah, let's do it.
But there's some creative freedom in doing albums too.
Love that.
Because when you do singles, it's only singles.
Yeah.
When you do an album, there's space for these kind of like weird songs, you know.
Yeah, it is the totality of us as human beings in a way. It's not just like the single usually has a purpose. Yeah. Like it's like, oh, I want to make this club record. Usually it spores out of we're playing a set and we feel like we're missing this energy or this record, and then we go back and make that. Yeah. You know, that's usually, it has its purpose, specific purpose, whether that's like Spotify or whether that's sort of a club record, whatever that is. An album, it's more like, you'll have these moments, obviously, but there's also how do we sort of interpret that thought further? Because it doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be a specific format.
Yeah.
And that's the best part of the whole thing, isn't it? Because we obviously know each other so well now, but we're also very different humans. So it's getting those perspectives, which is kind of like all over, and then trying to sort of distill that.
I think we're also lucky in the timing because there's so much like really great music being released now. Yeah. And it's kind of like the creative unleash of styles right now. Because everything's mixing. Yeah. Like techno over here, breakbeats over there, you know, and it's all mixing. Yeah. And I think it's the first time we see true democracy of genres.
That's true, yeah.
Nobody's cooler than someone else. Yeah. You know, a cool techno guy can play old school trance record, and a trance guy can like play a techno record.
Yeah, it's very true.
And no one blinks one eye, you know? And that's amazing. Yeah. 10 years ago, if you played, you know, something off genre, you would hear a lot of stuff. Yeah. And these days, just open format, and it just brews up this creativity.
Yeah, it's very healthy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just very exciting, and I'm curious to see where it goes. Yeah. And I mean, we obviously started making these songs, and we have a lot of ideas, and I'm just looking forward. What I'm looking forward to the most is like sitting down with like vocalists, getting like ideas, people writing on our stuff, hearing what they think and how they interpret it.
It's scary.
It's really scary because sometimes it just doesn't work out. But that's part of the process. But I'm looking forward to it. It's just, you know, it's been great so far. Yeah. It's just felt like finally we can make what we talked about on that balcony, you know, all those years ago. Yeah. I think that that sums it up really well. I think, and also one thing more, I like, it's working with other producers that we really look up to, like Paavo. Like, I remember first time I actually met Paavo properly was in Finland at his cabin, you know, with sauna and everything. Sitting in the studio there, that was kind of like an eye-opener to how nice these people are. Yeah,
it is. I mean, working with Paavo has been like an eye-opener. Yeah. I started to talk with him probably 5 years ago-ish, and we were on a similar path, you know. And I think Paavo is one of the main reasons why we are here. Yeah, you know, his love, his energy, his understanding of what we are doing. Yeah. Is something that I haven't experienced before. No. And then, you know, on top of that, you have Tony and Jono. Yeah. Who like comes part of that. And it's like three really great like people. Yeah. Carrying you, showing you like there's a different path there than what you thought.
Yeah, I remember like having dinner with John. I believe it was Belfast. Yeah, and we were just like that was like. We worked together, obviously make gratitude and all that, but we're like really sitting together on the dinner, just like, and we just started talking, and like everything just sort of like zoned out, and we just talking, and he kept giving like these really good advice, and I don't think he intended to give me advice in any way. He was just like talking about like like this show is great, and you don't have to worry about that. Think about this. It was like, and it wasn't coming from sort of like, I'm going to teach you anything. No. It was just like coming from a very sort of natural spot. Yeah.
Think about this though. There's 60 years of experience.
Yeah, combined experience for sure.
Between those.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And like, I don't think I even. This might sound silly, but I don't even realize how massive they are.
No, it's
like,
crazy.
Like there's you don't understand it almost.
Well, it's also kind of cool because when you go out on like the city, with the power, there's no paparazzis or
no.
It's just very casual.
Yeah.
And I think, and that's also part of the magic, that there is some normality to it.
Yeah, it feels very normal.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like, they don't feel like these superstars you kind of expect from like the Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, exactly.
Grammy, whatever, you know.
It's just like, it's just dudes, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like cool, friendly guys, and you can really tell like how passionate they are about it. And that was something that kind of shined through, and you kind of would believe that after all those years, with those careers and seeing what they've seen, that this kind of like passion for the music would kind of fade off, and it just seems to amplify.
Yeah, well, I think they have reached a point where they do whatever that they love doing.
Yeah.
You know, there's a side project, there's above and beyond, and there's this creative freedom. But if you listen to their songs as well, you can feel it comes from the heart.
Yeah.
And when you do that, it's I think it's quite natural.
Yeah.
To just not stop doing it, you know?
Yeah, and I also think sort of what they've built with the label kind of give them that platform and those, like the team around them to sort of elevate them even to like that next level of creativity that they kind of show. And I'm just like sort of grateful that I get to sort of be part of it in some small way. And sort of like it feels like it kind of helps the process. And it's really cool for me to know that I could text Paavo, I could text Jono. I have this idea in my head. I could just text him like, is this a dumb idea or a good idea? And he wouldn't necessarily say it's dumb or good, but he would have like a pointer or just say this is great. Or how about you try to change this chord? Or like it would be like very, very hands-on, very direct. And we're like very grateful that they even take the time for it.
I mean, it's one of my eye-openers was when I was at the Juno Beats Studios.
Yeah.
And you walk into the room, and suddenly you realize, well, you're hearing music people will sing along to in 6 months' time.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
And you're like, you can hear like the different versions and all of that, and suddenly you realize that, well, these guys are human too.
Yeah,
like it's
very true.
Yeah,
I like that too. Like, and you hear like all these different renditions of what the final product will be.
Yeah.
And you kind of tell like, if people only heard this, would they actually love that?
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around, really? Yeah. And that's a cool thing to witness.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, again, I think it's just that sort of team around on Juno Beats that the guys have been able to sort of build up on.
Yeah, 20 years.
20 years, just building those up, teaching them, like figuring out how they want to be perceived and how they want to do their work. And that transcends into sort of the importance of the team around you, because I think both you and me, we've been around long enough and worked with enough labels, enough managers and agents, and to see like the real importance of that, you know, on every single level of it.
Yeah.
Because it's very fragile, this thing. It is like, you know, everybody in the team kind of works off what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about our team, you know, in Juno.
Yeah.
Gareth, Neil,
Yeah.
Pete,
Yeah.
Amy,
Yeah.
Laura,
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
What do they bring to the table?
Well, Gareth is the label manager, and no one really knows
What he does.
what Gareth is doing. No, so Gareth basically, you can see him as the manager of the entire operation.
Yeah.
And I think he's really good at letting creative, stupid ideas come through.
Yeah.
You know, if you have some crazy idea or something, you don't feel like scared of calling Gareth and say, "Hey, I got this really dumb idea, but it could work."
Yeah.
And I think that's like kind of the key part of his thing. It's also that he truly loves music.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never seen anything
he
like that.
knows
Yeah.
every song, you know, every label, everything. Yeah, he's a very passionate guy.
Yeah, it's really scary when he goes like, "Oh, remember like that beat in that record? It's called blah blah, blah something."
Yeah,
I was
you're like, no, I don't.
Is that really like?
Yeah.
I would look at it. I'm like, it's released in 2003, man. Like,
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I bet you he would probably be able to list like all the songs that's ever been released on Juno Beats.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
We should do a test of that. Yeah.
Released on Juno or not.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's do it.
Ooh,
There we go. Let's try that. That's Gareth. Neil. Mr. Neil.
Mr. Neil. So Neil used to be a superstar.
Yeah, he was a superstar.
And Neil's background is being a DJ, as behind the alias John O'Burr.
Yeah. I actually saw John O'Burr and God's Kitchen at one of my first raves. That's so cool.
And ENR is a person who basically is the contact point of music between the artist and label.
Yeah.
He's the one that receives all the songs first, gives comment, feedback, and he's also the person that connects us with vocalists and so forth. So Neil is the guy that gets to hear everything first.
Yeah, and he would help us, like guide us. Maybe he will come up with some ideas, like maybe there's like vocalist here, maybe you should try that.
Yeah.
And stuff like this. Also clearing any sample or vocal we want to use, he would get involved in that.
Yeah.
Per first contact. So Neil is like sort of the key, like one of the key persons. All of them are important in their own way, but he's very sort of hands-on first renditions of whatever we're doing.
The demos, really raw.
Really raw. So he's like, okay, this is actually great from a really poorly done demo.
Yeah.
And you know, so he's the one who sees genius in, you know, dirt most of the time. Yeah, exactly. So, and then Pete
is the marketing genius.
Oh, yes.
He handles all the campaign.
Yeah.
He runs a small team as well.
Yeah.
It's a really great team. They basically take our creative ideas and put in to a format so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because as an artist, you're like, hey, let's do that, this.
Yeah.
You know, there's 100 ways of doing one thing.
Yeah.
And his role is to plan the marketing campaigns and make sure we reach the right people.
Yeah, sort of overseeing that part, I guess, is a good. Yeah, I'd say so. And then Amy. Obviously, Amy Wiles, like very good. Love her. She's wonderful DJ.
Sweetheart.
We've been touring with her for a while now. She's been playing. Just amazing DJ.
Yeah.
What does Amy bring to the table?
She's the promo manager.
Yeah.
So she basically sends our music out.
Yeah.
To DJs, radios, podcasts, playlists, and so forth.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's actually kind of cool because we kind of grew up with her as an artist,
Yeah.
And she truly understands how this works.
And she also the cool part is because since we've been touring with her and she's been playing for us, she heard all our sets and we've been playing all these songs that she's sending out now, so she knows what they will do on a dance floor, so she can convincingly sell this to any radio plugger or DJ, like, you guys should check this out because of this and this and that. So that's kind of quite cool and a little bit different than others. And then for me, Laura, our lovely dear product manager, which none of this would actually happen without her.
No.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. So
she's a force.
She's a force.
Explain to me, what does a product manager actually do?
I think it's different between who's product manager for, like our product management and everybody else's product management, because our product manager, Laura, she does basically everything, but her main responsibility is collecting the product, which is the song, and the songs, and making sure everything is streamlined, making the plans, when is this going out, aligning this. She is responsible that this product is as good as possible for when it's shipped. But our Laura, she will go way further than that. This is like, let's do campaigns. She will get involved in that. TikTok, she's in, you gotta get on TikTok.
You gotta get on there.
And we're like,
too old for that. No, you're not.
You're great. Podcast, let's do that. YouTube, let's do that. She's very, very hands-on. Make sure everything is taken care of. She really is a force. I'm really happy to have her on board. And then, obviously, once you have an album, eventually, we have a product, and now we have shipped it, everybody's heard it, and now we want to play it so people can experience it. Agents come in. What do agents do?
Agents basically sell your shows to promoters all around the world. And they are... they're there because, first of all, they know all of these contacts, obviously. And the second part is to kind of protect your time. Because there's, dealing with just booking a show and so forth. There's so much, and they take care of a huge part of that.
Because I think many people kind of fail to realize is that, okay, so we're doing a show, like a tour, which might be 30 to 50 dates. That's 30 to 50 clubs or ticket sales, whatever it is. There's hotels, and in this case, there's 2 hotel rooms, contracts. There's flights, routing that. Ticket sales, come that in, calculating. There's so many things that needs to be reported, and it's an ongoing process. Because remember, when you make an album now, the tour won't happen, and when that's happening, that could be 6 months from now.
And so at this point, just to realize how many emails is coming towards us. And this is where Anja comes in.
She's the filter.
Yeah. So Anya is we call her the regional manager assistant or something like that. But she is the filter between us and the label and the agency. Yeah. And makes sure no information is lost. All the flights are like arranged. All the travel things is on point. Yeah. She talks daily with Laura about the plans, create the plans with Laura. Yeah. And I think without this force, you would be lost as well. Because there's so much coming your way. Yeah. And I think that's also for new artists to think about. Yeah. Is that select a team that you truly trust and you truly believe in. Yeah. Because they will carry this. Your job here is sort of like the easiest part.
Yeah, in many ways it is. Yeah. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I agree. I think we're like, for everybody to thrive, we need that filter because we do need to sort of get everything done in this place, and that it's sometimes hard for me to realize, like, oh, where's the hotel ticket? I don't want to use energy on that, right? Yeah. And also, like, when am I supposed to show up? Where? Yeah. When? How long? Yeah. If that's taken care of, I don't have to spend any energy or think about it. Yeah. I can be myself. And I think that makes everybody it just operates on a higher level. And I think that's also like a big difference between now and then is this team like clearly functions a lot better. And it is obviously quite an extensive team has become. Yeah. But it just operates at a much smoother level for everyone. And that's such a nice feeling to just like, okay, I'm coming here to Sweden, we're shooting this podcast, that happens at that time. I could just text Anya if there's anything I wonder about, think about. Yeah. But the thing is, she would probably text me already and say, remember, you're supposed to be there at that. Here's the location. Fine, I'll be there. Yeah,
but it also releases so much stress tension as well. Because if you would do all of this alone, marketing, tour planning, and so forth. That's like 5-6 full-time jobs. Yeah. And you are not supposed to be an expert in everything. No. You and I are very well versed in all of these things, but we're not super experts. No. They are.
Yeah, exactly, and we have full trust in them. Yeah. So we don't go around and think about what they do or if the job's done or like we don't have to
24/7.
Like we don't do that, right? No. We trust them, so we know it's gonna get done. But I think it's like, tying that into sort of how does a new artist, because there's obviously 5 people, how do you pay all these people? Yeah. So you don't think about it like that. Like you don't start out with this, obviously, if you want to go into this, but it's more like finding somebody like your friend or whatever it is who is passionate about this too, but has a different quality or skill that you don't have, and realize you're sharing an experience here. You're building something together. Yeah. That's how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
That's
truly.
So there's one person we haven't talked about, and that's Sam. Connect Sam.
Yes, Connect Sam.
Sam is a graphic designer, visionary,
creative genius.
Yes.
But because we wanted to kind of create visuals and our visual experience exactly the way we wanted it. Yeah. And quite early on, we realized that, hold on, we need to find one person that is able to do all of this. Yes. And also is able to come with creative input. And someone new and hungry, exciting. Yeah. And Sam ticks all of those boxes.
Yeah, and I think Sam was also, he understands dance music culture. He's young, so he goes to all like these new raves that we're not really, we don't even hear about these things. And he goes there, so he knows a lot about like what's cool, what's not, what's kind of like coming up. And he's also have this unique ability to, because we have like this vision for each song. It kind of starts somewhere and we make the music of it, but we believe like the visual representation is like that's an extension of the music, so it's super important.
Of course.
And it's more important now than ever. And Sam is like, when we explain that to him, he's really good at sort of like, I guess, decoding it and making something out of that. And it's just really good to have him sort of on the payroll, so to speak. Just because he's so close, so we can create a lot more. And obviously, he does a lot of the filming for us too. He goes on tour sometimes to document wherever we can. So he's a big force there. I think we covered all of them. There's probably, hopefully there's no more.
If so,
we're really sorry. Please send a message. We'll deal with that in the next episode. I don't know. I don't think so, but I want to talk a little bit about shows because obviously there's going to be an album tour at one point, and there's a lot of these. Let's face it, we've been quite lucky since we released we played some shows, right? Let's talk about the shows. Remember when we started talking about anamē? We started planning on anamē. There was this plan where we're gonna do like these club records, probably gonna do an album at one point, and when we do the album, it's gonna be this and that. And here's a vision of the tour, because the tour was important. So how are we gonna create it? Do you remember that night? This must have been 2 years ago-ish. Your apartment. We were writing a bucket list
of all the venues.
Do you remember that? And I have the list. And then I realized before I was like, listen, we played most of these shows. Like, it's already, crazy. We haven't even toured, right? So the list was Gasouder.
Which is the ultimate techno place in the entire world.
Church. Like it's literally Amsterdam's techno church. I'd say so. Play there twice now. Crazy. The Gorge.
Which is like unbelievable.
That's unbelievable, right? Playing there again this year.
We are.
In July.
I can't wait for that one.
Brooklyn Mirage.
One of the best clubs in the entire world. Seriously, the biggest LED screen ever.
So good.
It's amazing. Amazing hosting, amazing venue. Just the whole arrangement of the club. Superb.
It was brilliant.
Absolutely world class.
And like some of these like on this list was something we always wanted to play like years and years and years ago. Like Brooklyn Mirage was one of those who just popped up like in the last couple of years. And we just looked at the videos like this place looks amazing. And when we got there, we played the sunset slot. So the club was like all like filled up, but it just like filled it up, and it was just like. It was next level, really good. One of my favorites, Telegraph Building.
A proper rave.
That was rave.
A proper warehouse rave. I love those.
Do you remember that? Like, there was a door up on the wall, the back door. It was like what, 6-7 meters up. There were no stairs or anything. It was just a door. And the story there was. The Telegraph Building used to be like a print or something like that. And the reason why the walls there are like this thick.
They're like 2 meters
just
almost.
Like a bunker thing. And we got to explain that's because like back in the war thing they used to like print like all the news and the Germans would try to bomb it. So that's
not happening there. Not happening there.
Crazy experience and crowd mad. Last one, and we were like that. Almost the big one. It's like I think this was for me level with Gasouder. Printworks.
Yes.
2 nights. Printworks.
Yes.
April.
Yes. That is exciting.
That's gonna be crazy.
That is exciting. I mean, that's also like a techno church, no?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like the perfect venue.
Yeah.
To try some really cool new stuff.
And the screen.
And the screen, oh la la.
Oh la la.
Wow.
That's gonna be.
So, but there was actually some drama here, Thomas.
There's been a little bit of drama.
There's been a bit of drama. What happened with your visa for the gorge?
Yeah, well, technically, I haven't played the gorge yet.
No, technically, Thomas was texting me really sad at home, almost like broken because, yeah, tell them.
Yeah, I think most DJs and artists who tries to play in America have this problem to some level, right? But that's a whole other story. But this time, we're the gorge is like a childhood dream for me to play there. We got the booking in. Out just over the moon. It's the only thing I talk about for like months.
Yeah, it was like the gorge.
And the thing, I knew it was in the schedule. We were told that we're not gonna get it because it's too all this. And I was like, just in case, I will start my visa process like now. This is like 7 months prior.
Yeah.
That should do.
And a US visa process takes a ton of time, a ton of paperwork.
Yeah.
It is extremely boring process.
Incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
It is. It's lawyers.
Paperwork everywhere.
Visa interviews. It is such a nightmare. Anyhow. So I start the process, everything goes fine, it's approved, we get the gorge show, and my visa is approved. Only thing that's missing now is me sending the passport to the consulate, and they will print a little sticker that says that I have a visa, and smack it into my passport. That's all they have to do.
Because they couldn't see in the system.
No.
You have a visa? No, absolutely not.
No. Has to have a little sticker.
Has to have a paper.
Yeah.
The passport.
Yes.
And we are in 2023.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's complete. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So it's approved. Everything is go. Mark is like, okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Action,
let's go. I'm excited, right? I'm really good.
He's really, really hyped.
I'm so hyped. It's like this, again, dream come true. 2 weeks before, I still haven't received my passport back, and I'm starting to get a little worried because it's been for a month. This is supposed to take 10 days.
Yeah.
Start calling up. Oh no, problems takes time. You never know. This goes on. There's a week left. I'm getting really stressed. Where's my passport?
7 days.
Okay, I need to go. I haven't booked my flight ticket. I need to go.
My passport?
Yeah. 3 days before, still no passport.
Yeah.
Freak out. Start calling all my immigration lawyers. Put I think I lighted fire everywhere. I need this passport. I'll go anywhere to get it, right? At one point, I get my visa immigration lawyer. He calls a senator, I don't remember her name, in some state to vouch for me. So she would call the American embassy in Oslo and tell them to fix my visa. I just put that sticker in. It's important that he comes into that. Set everything into motion. And they finally get back to me. This is 2 days before. Oh, it's ready, but we're gonna have to send it with this special delivery guy. I'm like, come on, can I just come and get it? No, we can only do that on Fridays between 10 and 2.
Yeah.
But on Friday between 10 and 2, I need to be in Washington. This cannot be it. Oh, you just hope the UPS driver arrives. He never does, so I miss it out. But what happens is he comes on the Monday.
That is lovely.
That's the most bitter thing in my whole existence.
But this year you will make up for that.
Yes.
So there's the thing. I want to see you stage dive at the gorge.
I might actually do that.
Passport
my visa.
Yeah, I have a visa. I come.
I can play now.
Yeah,
I might do that. Yeah. Let's see if enough people show up.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Man, but we got to talk about shows more. Glashouder.
Yeah.
Dream come true too, obviously.
Yeah,
Big moment.
I wanted to play there for years.
Yeah.
Seriously, like one of like that whole dome thing.
Yeah.
You walk in and it's like an old dome.
Yeah.
And it's this gigantic structure in like a roof.
Yeah.
And you've seen so many pictures of it.
Yeah.
I think it holds like 3,000 people, 3.5K or something like that. It's gigantic.
Yeah.
And just playing there, and that was our second show, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that was just like, wow, we are actually here. It's sold out.
Yeah, it was full.
It's fully packed, and you just like, time goes so fast on stage.
Yeah.
Because you try and take in all of these impressions.
Yeah.
And suddenly it just stops, and you're like, I
just
could play 10 hours more if you want.
Yeah.
No problem.
I just played my second sold-out show at Glashouder, obviously supporting Above and Beyond. And I think that, like, was it the second night? Pavel, he brought us on stage for Gratitude.
Oh, yeah,
remember that?
yeah.
And they played Sun and the Moon just before that or something like that. And the crowd was just like so having it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I cannot believe that we're standing on stage at the Glashouder with the legend that is A and B.
Yeah.
Playing a song that we made together, and everyone's singing it.
Yeah.
It was like, what is going on?
It is mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing. But that wasn't even the best thing that happened that week. Remember, we were like so hyped.
Yeah.
So we're like, we cannot stop this. We have to go to some after party.
So after each show, there's this gigantic adrenaline kick, you know. You are so hyped. And there was after party at, was it?
Melkweg or Paradiso, something like that. It was downtown.
Somewhere there. And you know, Amsterdam downtown is kind of small.
Yeah.
So we say, well, let's just take a tram there.
Yeah.
And all of the crew was coming with us, Pete and everyone was there.
Yeah.
And our friends and so forth. Yeah. And we jump into this tram.
Yeah.
And suddenly people start to recognizing who we are and start singing a best part.
Yeah.
How the whole tram is singing, this is the best part.
It was
and
mad.
we're like, huh? What is going on? Like, how did this happen? Like,
I know. That was like the maddest moment so far. It was just like
that's
it
crazy.
It was just like packed the whole tram because everybody's trying to get from Glashouder and going home or whatever. It was just like we didn't even realize what was going on. I was like, just looking at each other. Is this happening?
Yeah.
Man.
That was such a cool experience.
Yeah, and there's this thing. I think the people who know us.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna continue on. The next one was Brooklyn Mirage. This actually started in Poland. That was my first show back. Marcus had like this joke with Sonny Lax and his wife, I think it was. It was backstage, and we were like, here's a drink, and it was just a joke, and it was
the worst cocktail of all
it was
time.
Terrible. Anyways, at that point, it's basically champagne. Champagne, juice, and vodka?
It's tequila, orange juice, champagne, and a full banana in the cocktail.
Yeah. So at that point, it's like, here you go, Sonny Lax and your Sonny Lax's lovely wife. Here's a drink.
At that point, it was called Tropical Speciale.
Yeah. And we thought this turned into a joke. And so we're going to Brooklyn Mirage backstage, and we obviously ask for this stuff on our rider.
Yeah.
So we make it, and we make a joke. You send a picture of it to Amy?
Yeah.
And she comes up, you should call this the anamē. Bananamē.
Yes, exactly.
And I'd like to take away from this, like, these are like the cool moments, because at the Glashouder, it was like this big massive moments, like musical moments and stuff like that. But at the Mirage, that was like an amazing opportunity. But what I stick with, kind of weirdly, is the anamē.
Yeah, but it's those small things, you know?
Yeah, it's incredible. Last show we need to talk about, it is the ABGT Weekender London.
Amazing.
And maybe we should touch base on other UK shows, because we did a few of them.
Yeah.
What's your key takeaway from all of those UK shows?
People being open to so much new music.
Yeah.
I mean, it's songs that they never heard before.
Yeah.
And still, they just go crazy.
Yeah,
it feels like every time we play on London or something, it's like a really great chance to play the newest things right there.
Yeah. They seem very open to it, and that's like it's perfect for us to just, if you want to like make an album, for instance, you can play like these new versions or test things out, and they would be very open for it.
But what's even more important is that we found you a new house pet.
Oh yeah, the anamē.
Yes.
Oh, that's a wonderful story.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how it started. Yeah, it started at Dockyards, right? Yeah, it did. Yeah. Okay, now I remember. I remember. Okay, so we're playing.
Oh yeah.
At the yard. Yeah. And there's like this guy with like a inflatable seagull, like just doing like this, and I'm on stage, and I'm like, Marcus, I'm gonna grab it. And he's like, no, don't grab it. I'm gonna grab it. And I go like multiple times trying like, oh, I can't grab. Oh, I should grab it.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Take the bird.
And I chicken out, right? And so I don't do it. But we make like this thing on but he posted it.
Yeah.
Showed me, oh, you're the guy. That's the seagull. I was trying to steal it. Oh yeah, it's called the anamē.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, I want the bird, but it's gonna hang it like on my fireplace or something like that. And he said, like, when's your next show? I'm like, yeah, it's in Scotland next week. Yeah, I'll drive up from Leicester or whatever it is. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So he drives up with the inflatable seagull, and I get it. It's just the sweetest guy ever, and his wife also incredible. So I have the seagull. I wasn't allowed to put it above my fireplace, but I still have it in my studio.
Yeah, okay, that's
beautiful.
good.
Yeah,
that's good. But that one is coming with us.
That's for sure. It's touring. Yeah, it's a touring inflatable seagull at this point.
Yeah, it is.
So to wrap this thing up, I think we've been talking a lot now. So upcoming shows. Let's just what's coming?
We're doing Printworks in April. Then we're doing Altues actually next week.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah, we are. We are playing the Altues Tomorrowland Winter.
Yep.
Printworks as said, and then there's a ton of shows coming.
Yeah. Obviously Gorge, we talked about that. I can't wait to do that.
Brighton Beach, Tomorrowland again.
It's a bunch of cool things, and I think we're gonna do a lot this year. And I think we had now spent a little bit of time just like working, deciding to do this album thing. So we got to kind of set that up, and now everything is getting unleashed to the world. So we're just looking forward to sharing that.
Yeah, we are.
Cool.
Thank you very much to Flatcap at Oxhallen for having us here.
Yeah. Beautiful. Love this space.
Yeah, it's actually an old like brewery place. It's fantastic.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Ciao.
Next time. Peace.